For any question that is related to inverse function, jaga-jaga ya, inverse function bukannya inverse matrix, we have two steps. The first step is to determine whether fx is a one-to-one function or not. And for this step, you can use two methods. The first one is using graphical method or horizontal line test, and the other method is the algebraic method, where you let x1, x2 be an element of df, and then you find fx1, fx2, and then you need to show that x1 is equal to x2. Okay, so ini kita recall balik daripada one-to-one function. So, kalau fx kamu adalah one-to-one function, itu maksudnya f inverse exists. And the second step is to find your inverse function. There are two methods for this step as well. The first step is to use f inverse is equal to x. And then you need to let f inverse x equal to y. Substitute y into fx, and then you need to find what is y. So that's the first method. The other method is by using substitution, where you let y equal to fx, and then you find x. So to find f inverse, the first method is better. Okay, so Miss akan ajar dalam subtopik ni, Miss akan ajar kamu nak cari f inverse, gunakan method yang pertama saja. Miss tak akan ajar kamu guna method yang kedua. So let's look at some of the properties of inverse function. Note that f inverse is not the same as 1 over fx. Now, what if you have f inverse and then you inverse it again? Ini kamu bayang macam kamu cancel out kamu punya inverse. So that is just the function f. And for the third property, you already know that f inverse is just the same as f inverse fx, which will give you x. Now, what if you have composite function fg and then you inverse it? That will give you the composite function g inverse f inverse. So, kalau kat dalam ni fg, dia akan terbalik jadi g inverse f inverse. Property number 5 is that the graph of y equal to fx and y equal to f inverse are symmetric with respect to the line y equal to x. So, nanti Miss akan ajar kamu macam mana kamu nak lukis fx dan juga f inverse dalam axis yang sama. And from that graph, you can see that domain of f is actually the same as the range of f inverse. And the range of f is the same as the domain of f inverse. So basically kamu terbalikkan saja. Kalau domain untuk function fx, dia akan jadi range untuk f inverse. Kalau range untuk fx, dia akan jadi domain untuk f inverse. Dia terbalik saja. And that is how you find the domain and range for both function fx and inverse function f inverse. Let's do example 15, question 1. We are given function fx and gx, and we need to determine which function has an inverse. So recall balik, function tu dia akan ada inverse kalau function fx adalah 1 to 1. So, to check whether a function is 1 to 1 or not, you need to use either two methods, horizontal line test or the algebraic method. And if the function does have an inverse, you need to find the inverse. So let's do for the first function, which is fx equal to square root x. The first step is to check whether it is a 1 to 1 function or not. So, kamu boleh guna horizontal line test ataupun algebraic method, and you can choose any method that is easy for you. So, say that for this one, I want to use the horizontal line test. So, we need to draw fx equal to square root x. And this is the graph of y equal to square root x. Therefore, when you do the horizontal line test, you can see that there is only one intersection point. So, you can write down a horizontal line intersects the graph at one point only. So this means that fx is a 1 to 1 function. So what does this mean? This means that f inverse exists. So now we know that f inverse exists, therefore the second step is to find the inverse. And to do that, we need to use the property f inverse is equal to x. And you're gonna let f inverse x is equal to y. So now, this equation will give you fy is equal to x. What does it mean by fy? Okay, kamu tengok soalan. Fx is square root x. When this is x, this is also x. But now, we want fy. We're gonna substitute y into fx equal to square root x. So you'll get square root y equal to x. And then just rearrange to get y only. And the answer is y equal to x squared. So what is the purpose of finding y? For the second step, we need to find f inverse. So the thing is, y is actually our f inverse of x. And hence, f inverse of x is actually equal to y, which is equal to x squared. Let's do for the other function, which is gx equal to modulus of x. The first step is to check whether it is a one-to-one function or not. So let's use the horizontal line test. Sketch the function of gx. And here is the graph. And if we do the horizontal line test, we can see that there are two intersection points. So you can write down a horizontal line intersects the graph at 2 points. And this means that fx is not a one-to-one function. And what does that mean? This means that f inverse does not exist. So from the first step, you have determined that f inverse does not exist. So do we still need to go to the second step? There's no need for you to do that because the second step is to find f inverse. So for this function gx, there is no f inverse, so we will stop here.